you're gonna need a bigger boat. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're taking a look at a very small film. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before. It's by a very small director. He kind of made, one or two good movies, but we never heard from him again. No. Today, we are taking a look at the magnum opus by the one, the only, the Lord he be, Mr. Steven Spielberg. And that film is Jaws. That is right, guys. Jaws has just hit its 50th anniversary, and I celebrated like you have to in a situation like this. I went, I got my ticket, and I saw it on the big screen. And was it worth it? Spoiler alert, it was one of the greatest movie experiences I have ever had. So, let's get into why I think Jaws is not only the best summer blockbuster of all time, but one of those very rare perfect films. Now, as a little bit of a backstory here, I've seen Jaws quite a few times, I'll say. This summer alone, I've already seen it 3 times.
Nerd alert!
Why have I seen it so much? I feel like the characters, the setting, the score, the 3 leads in this movie, Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss, are just the 3 perfect actors for these 3 characters. Their chemistry is just amazing. These look like 3 guys that kind of start out and they have nothing really in common, and as time goes by, they really start this bond. The famous story of Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss having this on-set feud, it really shows, and I really think it makes the relationship between those 2 characters just so much better. Isolating Robert Shaw's performance and talking about the character of Quint, he is one of my favorite movie characters of all time. Every single time Robert Shaw is on screen, he is just chewing the scenery, and I love it. All of his lines are so iconic, and his character feels so real. It feels like this guy lived every single thing he says. His performance, weirdly enough, reminds me of Doc Holliday. They just have such a swagger between those 2 roles that really gels and really kind of catches my attention. Roy Scheider as Chief Brody kind of plays this centralized character that you really get behind, and he's the audience's character. Oh my god, he's just perfect. The backstory of him and him hating water, the whole character just feels so lived in. Same thing with Richard Dreyfuss's character. You really get this aspect that makes him different from the other 2 leads, but it just works so well. And the setting for this movie, we talk about Amity Island, which I'm a little biased. It's Cape Cod. I live on Cape Cod, so I will always have this special love for it. But this town is, I think, one of the most lived in, most kind of rich lore towns in any movie. The way everyone plays on the beach, or the way everyone kind of interacts with each other, like I said, it's all just so lived in. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, when a director or when the script tries to call for that, it doesn't work out. It feels so forced. Nothing about this movie feels forced at all. It's all organic. It's all natural. When you have someone like Steven Spielberg and they team up with someone like John Williams, you are just going to get the perfect sound cues and the best overall score for your film. I think the score that these 2 were able to make for this film is one of, if not the most iconic film scores of all time. Those opening notes, anyone from the ages of 2 to 102 will recognize what it's from. It sets up so perfect, it's so simple, but it catches you and it really grabs you, like the shark. And speaking of the shark in this film, old Bruce the Shark, he was such a pain in the ass and such a diva to work for on set that he really almost tanked this whole production. See what I did there? Tank, like a fish tank. It's a fish pun. Boo! All right. To get serious here, Steven Spielberg said numerous times that because of the shark and the salt water ruining it, that this was going to be the death of his movie career. This was only the 2nd film that Steven Spielberg directed, and he was only in his mid-20s at the time. So the amount of pressure that this guy was under and what he was able to execute really shows you just the legend that he was going to become. So many things could have went wrong in this movie, but they were able to pull themselves together, and we got what is considered to be a perfect film. I think that term's thrown out in so many different ways, but when you're talking about Jaws and what was created, it is perfect. There's not a bad portion about this film. And how perfect Jaws is, it ruined the idea of shark movies. When you think of a shark movie, the only movie that really comes to mind is Jaws. What else do you think? Deep Blue Sea? Sharknado? Guys, I could sit and talk about this film for hours and hours and days and years, and I'll still be here, very gray, with a little bit of a hunch in my back. Guys, let me know what you think about Jaws. Let me know the first time you saw it, and let me know if you saw it on the big screen for the 50th anniversary. Like always, I love you all, and swim carefully, my friends. You never know if that fin's behind you. See you next time, and I love you all.
Because the word does not exist.